one of you, best mates, and is on the Zoom, Tommy. So
yeah. No, I noticed a couple of the boys have jumped on, so I think the
Who
Force
else?
might be looking pretty strong this year.
Who else is on the Zoom that is in your crew?
I think I saw an Andy Prowse there.
Yeah.
He'd be a good get for the club.
Yeah.
Well,
we're happy. We're happy to have Tommy back. He, like your good self. So if we take you back to 2010 when you won that amazing award for Glen Iris, the best fielder in the Colts development team. Your good mate Tommy's a great fielder too. He can bat and talk, but he was a very good fielder as well. Tell us about that fielding award and what it meant for you.
I don't remember it too fondly, but it makes sense now that you say it. It was something I prided myself on with my cricketing abilities. I wasn't a great batter or bowler, so I had to be all right in the field, and that's about it, I think.
Well, you played in an under-16s grand final. I don't think you did much. Your coach is on the line. We'll ask him later. But you do have best figures of 5 for 27. That's not hopeless. But your batting average for Glen Iris is 6. So
yeah, I'm not happy with that average. I might have to get down there a few games this summer and get that up, I think.
We've talked about you playing in the Sunday team. So let's hope the planets align this year and you guys don't have to go back to footy till January. So let's fingers crossed we get a game in.
Oh, you're the man for that. Make sure you get it over the line.
Yeah. So, Tobe, let's go back in time because we can fast forward and we know you're in the hub at Optus. You're at Crown. We'll go now. You're in Crown Plaza. I think the Giants have got a huge game against West Coast. To me, it's make or break. It's good that you're back in. Just touch on that for a starter. You're in. Phil Davis in this week?
Nah, I don't think Phil is going to play. He didn't get up for training yesterday. We got the first game of playing. I don't know if it's been announced. Or Jake Riccardi's playing, so I'll announce it now.
Yeah, good. I heard good things about him. Is he playing at Werribee last year? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's 20 now, so he's a bit older than the other draftees. Smooth mover, tall, full forward, centre forward. So, no, it'd be great to see what he can do. Bobby Hill's playing, young Indigenous kid who's got a lot of talent. And then, Mummy's back on back. There's a couple of changes.
There's 4 changes, and so there should be after your pathetic performance last week.
It wasn't great. That's all right. We'll respond.
Well, you've got to. That's for sure.
No, we will.
Let's go back in time. Wes played for Wesley. You're playing against Xavier College. You're on the Roach Oval where I actually made a ton, just for everyone out there. Tell us about that game. At 3/4 time, what's the score?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think we're down by about 4 goals, I think.
4 goals. Up steps your good self.
Yeah.
3 or 4 in the last quarter?
4 in the last, mate. Good day for Wesley, that one.
Did you guys actually win the premiership that year?
No, that was the year before we won. We should have won it that year, but we cost ourselves with Vic Metro commitments.
Okay, so who were some of your teammates and who was your coach? Was it the great Peter Curran?
Yeah, Peter Curran was the coach. Tom Curran, with his son, played. Hal Hunter, who went to Essendon. I don't know if
good little player, Hal Hunter. Yeah.
Sam Frost. Then Ben DeRue, who went to Richmond. There was one more. Rupert Wills. Oh, no, not Rupert. There's one more. I can't
was that year 11 or year 12? So what was some of those boys? Were they your year or were they the year before?
Yeah, they're all my year. And then the year above was Lockie Fergs was rolling around. Dom Russo, I don't know if he played at the cricket club.
Lockie Fergs a gun.
Gun.
Was he a good schoolboy player in year 12?
Yeah, star.
Yeah.
Star. We had a bloody solid team for a couple of years there.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's talk about that year because the theme, in Melbourne now, you're sort of oblivious to a degree, except you're probably speaking to your mum and brothers about the fact that they can't, and they're at that hit zone, aren't they, where they'd like to be going out, but we've got 8 p.m. curfews, mate. Seriously, I've got to get home by 8 o'clock tonight. I can't go down the street. We're wearing masks. So I reckon of many footballers, and you've had to go into the bag of resilience, and so are we. And there's a lot of kids. There's kids on this this Zoom as well. Some great kids, and they're listening in. And so I want to go back in time to you were playing for Oakley Chargers, and this group knows a lot about the NAB League, and in your day it was called TAC. But you were lucky to make that team list, weren't you? Really?
Yeah, I was. It was. I didn't make it bottom age under 18s, and then I think Mark Hibbins gave a call to the Chargers in my top age year and said you got to put him in the team, in the squad. I don't think they were going to otherwise. So I've got to say thanks to Mark Hibbins there. And then it sort of just went from there. That year it was like I sort of say that to people now during this year. If this had been my year 12 year, I wouldn't have got drafted. So I feel for a lot of kids who are in that draft year this year because they just don't have the opportunity to show what they can do.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. So you just scraped into Oakley. How did you make the Vic Metro squad from there?
I think it was just through my early school footy games and a couple of Oakley Chargers games, and was like just got a late call up to a Vic Metro trial, and yeah, it just sort of all happened really quickly. I played really well in the trial game, and the coach Stephen Doyle, Doyley, I can't remember his first. Is it
Stephen Doyle?
Greg Doyle, sorry. Greg Doyle.
Stephen Doyle works at your footy club.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He really liked me, and he gave me a chance, and it just happened really quick that year. Like within 3 months, I knew I was getting drafted from not getting drafted at all.
Yeah, amazing. And then, so who were the people that you were drafted with? Like, tell me about it. I remember draft night where it was in Sydney. Talk to me about draft night and who was drafted in and around you.
Well, in my Vic Metro team, I think just about every player got drafted. We had a really strong team that year. Good friends like Johnny Patton, Adam Tomlinson, Dom Tyson, Will Hoskin-Elliott came here. Who else was in it? Nick Haynes was in our draft who was here. Taylor Adams, Deb Smith. So, it was a bloody fun group to get drafted with.
Absolutely. And they all, that was when obviously GWS had a lot of picks, and they ended up, you ended up, playing together and long-lasting mates. I mean, I know a few of them have had to leave now, but, I know Dev and Taylor Adams are good friends of yours. You still keep in touch with them?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you keep in touch with a fair few of the boys I played with. Obviously, not as much as what you do when you're with them, but you always keep an eye out. And I guess these hubs as well, like you run into a few more people. When we go back to Gold Coast, the whole AFL's there, so it'd be interesting to catch up with a few boys. Yeah.
So tell me about the early years of GWS and how hard it was, and tell me about that. Your first draft as an 18-year-old. You're a Melbourne boy. I think it was really good for you to move into state to get away from the likes of Tommy McDermott. But tell me what it was like.
It probably was the best thing that ever happened to me getting drafted into state. Had a few funny mates down in Melbourne. Still do. They're good men. The first year was like a school camp, staying in Breakfast Point. That's what it sort of felt like. And then,
is that your phone?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how I turned that off. And then we, so we didn't win many games, but we weren't expected to. So it wasn't a real downer. And then the second year was probably a lot harder. I think we only won one game and probably thought we'd get a bit better, but we didn't.
Who was your coach? Who was your first? Was Sheeds your coach? And Choco Williams?
Choco was the coach. Sheeds just turned up game day, really.
Yep.
That was about the only time we saw him. It was good. I loved it. Loved the first couple of years. We just didn't win, but there wasn't a heap of pressure on us. And then I guess it got a bit harder from there. You are allowed to turn your phone onto silent, Toby. That's not coming from my computer. I don't know how to mute it.
Okay, that's all right.
Sorry about that.
Busy man.
Well, it's the boys that are on this chat, I think. So if they could just stop messaging, that'd be appreciated.
Oh, love it.
Um, yeah, and then I guess third and fourth year started to see some incremental growth, and then yeah, I guess in the last 4 years we've played finals every year and won finals every year, so it's something I'm certainly proud of, and it's been a long journey. I think Nick Haynes has got a doco coming out. Actually, we watched it as a group the other night. I don't know if you've heard about it. I think Fox Footy are going to air it in a couple of weeks' time. It'll give an amazing insight into sort of the formation of the club, and I think the general public are going to love it. So it's certainly something I recommend when it comes out.
Great. I can't wait. So tell me about, so Sheeds leaves, just the transformation of the club. You were playing at Blacktown. Like, I don't know if anyone knows where that was, but the transformation to move everyone from Blacktown to Olympic, Park's been huge, hasn't it?
And I think the club would have lasted. Yeah, the club wouldn't have lasted if we stayed at Blacktown. I'm fairly sure of that. It was just hard work.
Would they?
Nah, it's just hard work, and didn't want to it's guys would have hated going to training every day. It's a long drive out there and not much going on. But then, the Olympic Park change was, sort of changed the environment of the club, and facilities are amazing now, and it's great.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell me some of your best mates at the club. You also travelled overseas with Steve Canilio and Jager O'Meara. Tell me about that. You met some of the biggest names in soccer.
Yeah, I was glad I did that last year. Well, you weren't happy with me with my bank account when I got back, but I'm glad I did it now.
I think I think it was a really good move. We can talk about that and get to the grand final. So I think leaving and heading there was probably a good idea. You probably spent a bit too much money for my liking, but you won't be able to leave. You won't be able to travel overseas for about 6 years, so you might save some money.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm glad I did it now in hindsight. Yeah, we had a big Europe sort of soccer trip. Me and Cogs and Jags love our soccer, so we visited a lot of clubs and went to a lot of games, and that was amazing.
Who's the biggest names? I saw some photos. Tell me some of and the kids out there. Who are the biggest names you had a photo with and spoke to?
Yeah, we went to PSG training, who were in the Champions League final on Sunday night. We were with Kylian Mbappe, Cavani. Sort of went to their training and just watched and talked to them. It was honestly one of the best days I've ever had, being a soccer nuffy. And just they're just on another level in terms of athletes, and obviously the money they get paid and how they operate. It's quite incredible.
How did you get so up close, and how did you get to watch training and then get a photo with them?
Their strength and conditioning coach is an Aussie guy, and he loved his footy, and he's good mates with our head of strength and conditioning, and he invited us to come over, and it ended up just being like that. And the PSG players were quite intrigued with what we did, so they sort of let us in and talked to us, and for the guys who could speak in English, it was an amazing experience.
Fantastic. So let's rewind. It was a really interesting year, wasn't it? Like when you talk about resilience, you've had a love-hate, probably hate with the Bulldogs. So go back. That's probably as a club. Talk about that prelim. It's sliding doors moment. It's one of the great prelim finals. You ask people where they were. I know where I was when the game was on. Wardy gets your captain at that stage, spiritual. Like Wardy was really the heart and soul. I know you just beat him in FIFA tonight, 1-0 in a Giants FIFA comp to move to the semi-finals. But Wardy was heart and soul of the club, and he gets knocked out against his old mob. That must have hurt that prelim final.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was probably. Yeah, we probably went into the game thinking we're going to play in the grand final. We certainly didn't underrate the Bulldogs, but it just happened that they played an amazing game, and we ended up getting rolled in the last 10 seconds or whatever it was. It was extremely disappointing because we felt like we would have beat the Swans the next week, but
did you watch?
It is what it is, and it's probably something I'll look back at the end of my career, but at the moment, it's probably the start of that rivalry though between the Bulldogs, and I probably fueled that fire in the first final last year. So it's probably good for footy. And then, but those couple of weeks were interesting, certainly after that.
Yeah, well, was that when did the Toby Greene studs rule come into effect? Was that the year? Was that?
Yeah, that was the year after, I think, against the Bulldogs. Oh no, that was against the Swans.
Was it?
Yeah, that's when they changed the rule. But yeah, I had that little incident against Dalhouse that yeah, the Bulldog supporters weren't too happy with that, but that's okay.
You've been doing that all your life, haven't you? It just comes naturally. Have you had to work on changing your marking technique at all?
Oh, it's just been conscious of it. But yeah, it's something I've always done and used to serve me well for the Redbacks when I was 10 years old. So I had to change that.
So that's a good little segue too, because I reckon there's some mighty Redbacks boys on. I reckon there's some boys on the line who play for the Ashy Redbacks. You had some pretty good teams. Did Tom Mitchell play in your team? I know Luke Ball played for the Redbacks. I think he was too old for you, but Tommy Mitchell.
Yeah, we had Tom Mitchell, Jack Viney. Rupert Wills, who's at Collingwood, he was in our team. I don't think he even got a game for us. That's how good our team was back then.
Did you win?
No, we lost 2 grannies. So,
14s and 15s, or what?
From about under 10s to 13s, I don't think we lost a game. And then when we moved to Yarra, we lost a couple of grand finals.
Did you? Choked a little.
Yeah, the Fitzroy were a good side, in fairness.
Fitzroy were good. Okay, they are a good team. So go through the stuff with a bit of bond, but just, how did you cope? Like, I know you had a great manager to bounce it off, but like, and a great, cousin in Tommy. How did you deal? Like, go back. I think, you don't think you've done, when we appealed, like, to miss that prelim final, that must have been tough.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't like, I would have still been angry now if we had lost the prelim, because we won. I don't really care about it, to be honest. Like, I would have loved to play in the prelim, but we won and I've got to play in the grand final. So it didn't faze me too much. It was obviously an extraordinary week. We were coming to and from Melbourne a couple of times. You were in the tribunal there with me for a couple of weeks straight. So it was certainly a crazy couple of weeks. And as you know, finals are highly scrutinised and every media person in Australia is there. So it was certainly a learning curve, but I was just worried more about my footy, and then so that sort of kept my mind preoccupied, and we were able to have that amazing win in the prelim. So it's done now, and
I think there's some of the special moments, and I hope you've seen the footage of yourself. You've seen that.
Yeah. No, that's just pure emotion, really.
And that's what we love about you. Like, I mean, so what you like, but I would pay good money to watch you play footy. I think your footy's gone, like, I hope, and I know it has, like, this year even, your footy and the footy world is saying, and it hasn't happened before, but Giants struggle without you. Like, do they walk tall? Like, you've got some great players, like, some really good players. But what, like, and you're very confident in your ability. What is it that you think you bring that helps Jacob Hopper or Josh Kelly play better?
I think it's sort of something that's wound up a bit by the media, but
it could be true, because you don't play and they look, and I don't know what it is, but we'll go out to West Coast. If you're not playing, they've got no chance in my mind. Now I'm going, Toby's playing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a strong connection with the forward line group, and I feel like they play better when I play, so that certainly helps. But yeah, I like to sort of bring an on-field presence and something I'm conscious of, and I know when I'm up and about, the team's usually up and about. So it's not something I really think about though going into a game.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't. They're just looking at the chat. Did Jakey Williams play for Ashy too?
Yeah, he was an absolute star as well.
I don't know if he's on this, but he's a jet, Jake Williams. Like, he's one. And there's 1,000 stories, and Tommy McDermott's not one of them, but there's 1,000 stories of great footballers who weren't drafted.
Yeah, well, Jake and Lockie Ferguson are 2 of the better ones you'll see. So, I played charges with Jake and under 18s, and I grew up with him really from 5 years old. We always watching DLR play. So no, he's one of my oldest friends. So yeah, he certainly saw some amazing stuff from him.
Yeah, I actually love watching him play for DLR too. Is Charlie Haley on this group chat? I haven't seen Charlie. Is he on?
He's on, I think. Yeah.
Is he? Charlie. Is he captain of Baldwin next year? Charlie, if you can respond to that. Are you playing at Baldwin again?
I think Lowry's trying to get him back to DLR is what we're hearing.
So should. And Taz Tudors asked Pat Ambrose, ? Paddy Ambrose, a good Xavier man and a Bombers man. Where did he play his junior footy? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Oh, he wasn't with us. He might have been a couple of years older.
No. Sammy Hibbins? What was he like?
He might be on this chat, actually.
Just pumping himself up, centre-half forward.
Oh, he's as slow as a wet week. He could not thread.
There he is, though.
Careful with what you say, Toby.
Still got the same issues, mate. Get out of the centre square.
Yeah. I did hear Viv Buckley played at Ashy too, according to Tommy.
I don't know if that's true. He was Fitzroy, I think.
Well, there's a strong connection between Glen Iris and Ashy, that's for sure.
No, there is.
But tell me how, let's talk about the grand finals. A few Richmond, Rich Sibley, Scotty the Prez. There's a few big Tiger fans here. Have you, you've moved on, obviously, from there, having said that?
Yeah, no, it was...
it wasn't a great day.
No, it was a shocker. No, we were just convincingly beaten. We probably had 5 or 6 boys in hindsight shouldn't have played. But it is what it is. Richmond were just a significantly better side on the day, and hats off to them. They were so hard to beat, and obviously at the MCG they were up and about, and we just couldn't get anything going on the day, and it's not something I think about too much. It's obviously flattening how we played. And
the good thing was you'd been through a tough couple of weeks with the tribunal, and then you just got out of there for a couple of months. So that's when we talk about the trip overseas with Steve Canilio and Jay Grove Mirror. That's when you went on your little sojourn and went on your soccer expedition. So you've come back. I must say, I think your footy's gone to another level this year. Did you have a big pre-season? Did you have a little bit of steeliness about you? I know you've had your injuries this year, but when you've played, you've been amazing.
I was probably just back to doing a full pre-season for the first time in a couple of years, and I guess when you do that, I've got a lot of confidence that my ability will do the rest if I get the work in. And so I was a bit flat with Leon a couple of times this year. I felt like I was fine to play, and not because I knew what I'll be able to do, but it is what it is, and hopefully have a good 6 weeks to finish to make sure we get into finals and do some damage.
Yeah. Are there any questions, Scotty? I'm happy to open up a few questions. There's good banter on the chat room, which I like. Toby tried.
Nothing's come through yet.
Don't forget Blair Reynolds from Ashy Redbacks too, from Peter Everett.
Hey, Toby, you've got a great record against West Coast over in Perth, the Giants. What is it about? I know it's a new ground you're playing on now, but you've beaten them a few times over there.
Yeah, we have. I remember one a few years ago. That was amazing to be a part of. They're obviously up and running now, so it'll be a great statement if we do get the chocolates. But we just make sure we just perform and go from there.
Just on player managers, did you have many choices when you were drafted? We all love Jake. He's Mr. East Malvern.
Yeah.
How do you pick your player manager? It's a serious question.
I think it came down to Paulie or Nick Geeson at the time, and
right.
I was only 18, so I probably had a closer rapport with Nick Geeson. But Mum's like, "Nah, you're going with Paul." And in hindsight, it's the best decision she ever made for me because I think Geese got kicked out and Paul stole him.
There you go.
Exactly.
And you mentioned before that you spent too much money. So the player managers go that far in managing your affairs, do they? Do they sort of budget for you? They all do all that, do they?
Yeah, certainly they do. Yeah, well, you're paying them for something. No, he's been great, and he's helped me a lot along the way. And they do. Yeah, we do all that, and obviously that's probably one of the main priorities, and something that I probably needed a lot of help with earlier in my career.
Mia Lanigan, who's got a strong interest in sports management too, she's a big Pies fan. Did Jordan he was a Skevs boy, but was he actually Redbacks?
Yeah, he was as well, yeah.
Gosh, had some players.
Yeah.
Mia, let's ignore that though, Mia. He's not the greatest person. I think he won't be at Collingwood next year either, man. Bad luck, Lanna's senior too.
Paul, I've got a question for Toby. This is Sam Hibbins here. Toby, how are you, mate?
Good, man.
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. How's that? What's wrong with you at the moment? Knee, calf?
Good to go, mate.
Good to go. My question to you, mate, is there's obviously a lot of talk, and Paul, you might be able to give your management 2 cents in as well. With the hub, with the rules, I mean, we keep seeing players, especially young players, getting in trouble. How clear is the message from the AFL and your club on what you can do? And, had this happened when you were 19 and 20, I've got no doubt you would have had a few headlines. You're a bit older now, so you probably keep it in check. But how hard is it, do you think, for some of these young players or any of the players to stick to every single rule that they're told to?
Great question, Sammy. And tell us a bit about Hub Life too, Tobe. So 2-part question. What are you allowed to do over there? You're in Perth.
Yeah, we're in the strictest part of the hub now. We're in quarantine in Perth, so we're in pretty much prison. We get out.
Tell us.
We get out Sunday. We've been here 10 days, 11 days now. Get out Sunday and move hotels, and from then on we can leave the hotel and go and do stuff and get coffee and stuff and go for walks. We've just been staying at Crown at the moment, and we're not allowed to leave the hotel. So there's plenty of activities for us to do, but you don't get a heap of fresh air, which is can get a bit frustrating. But it is what it is, and Queensland's a lot better where you can do what you want. You can move around and go out and go for surfs and golf and stuff, but we're not allowed to do any of that at the moment.
So you've been have you been to Gold Coast yet?
Yeah, we were there for a week and then came here for another 10 days and then back there for the rest of the season.
And when you go back to Gold Coast, you won't have to quarantine again, will you?
No, we're good to go as soon as we get there.
Yeah, so tell us about a day. Tell me about your day today. Did you have training?
Today we had a day off, so the day offs aren't as invigorating as what they are back in Sydney. What did I do today? I woke up, went for a little swim at the pool here. Then I had to do a fair bit of uni stuff actually, so I did that this morning.
Talk to me about that. What are you studying?
Just commerce, just doing a commerce and international business. So no, that's going well.
Online, or how are you doing that degree?
Yeah, online. Yeah.
With what uni, Tobe?
Macquarie in Sydney. So it's going well. Enjoy that. Almost done now, so it'll be good to tick that off.
Yeah.
And then just did a bit of that for a while, and then obviously had our FIFA comp before. I'm actually in a semi-final straight after this.
So you've got the semi because from MB to everyone, are you going to win the FIFA final tonight? Big game.
Well, I got Tommy Sheridan's organising it. Our man, he's just texted me. I'm in semi-final 2. They're still waiting to find out my opponent. They're playing right now. I can actually hear them yelling every goal.
Yep.
So that's been this is probably the biggest day on the calendar for me at the hub. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Anthony Damaso has said to everyone, Toby, are you aware of your cult status on Roy and HG's podcast, and what are your thoughts about their work?
Well, I'm not aware of it at all. So
do you know Anthony?
No, is it?
Is that Scotty might be able to help us, but so an MB, I don't know who MB is. He obviously knows you, that he knows that you've got the FIFA final tonight.
I don't know who that is, but yeah, I will win it.
Really good question here. They're saying that Sam and Paul have the same hoodie. Real men wear pink, by the way. Goffy. What does life entail for you after footy? mate? We just heard that you're studying business.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think I'll probably go down that path. Something that I've taken a lot more interest in the last couple of years, and doing a lot of work with Matty DeBoer, who's one of our boys up here, and he's probably the leader in this space in the AFL, I think. So I'm learning a lot off him at the moment. He's given me privy to a lot of information and sort of the stuff we've been doing on the side. So, no, it's been great. I actually don't know too sure what it looks like, but I think
something in business.
Yeah, I think it'll be in that space, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, just quickly, Johnny Randall has said, who do you think's going to line up on you again from West Coast? Is it going to be Shepherd?
Yeah, I usually get Shep. So he's good. He's good. He's always a good battle.
And given Scotty says you've had a little bit of the wood over him, have you kicked a few goals on?
I might have kicked a couple of important ones, I think, a few years ago. But no, he's a good player, Shep. I played with him a lot actually, so it'll be a good battle.
Have you ever thought just maybe a little bit of investing in Hive Building Company?
Hive is the up-and-coming leader in home building renovations in Melbourne. I'm well aware of that. I'm hearing they might relocate to Sydney next year, though, so I'm looking forward to that.
Hopefully that's in the winter. Hey,
yeah, it's a winter job.
I think we've got your under-16s coach on the line. Could we ask Cumpy to say a few words? As somehow my front door's there. I've got to get that. Cumpy, you on the line? Tobe, Scotty, can you organise that? Is Mark Cump there?
He certainly was at the start. He might have disappeared.
Just jumped off?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was well timed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember the under-16 grand final, Toby?
Yeah, I just sort of do. I sort of get it mixed up a bit. I think Charlie Haley would have played a prominent role in that if he's on the line.
Maybe we'll get him on. Unmute yourself, Chuck.
Charlie Haley could play cricket.
He was good.
Where is Charlie?
Played
I'm speaking now.
Here he is.
Hear me? G'day.
Charlie,
Not too bad.
did you play in the grand final with Toby? Was he in your team?
I think we won that one. I won a couple that year for Glen Iris. I think I won 3.
You won back-to-back 3?
Yeah, we went back-to-back, yeah.
Back-to-back. Were you in the bottom ages, Toby? Were you bottom age?
Yeah, so I think Sam Hibbins was captain, I think, wasn't he?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sam Hibbins was captain, Toby, me, Ed Moga, Lockie Holmes. Who else was in there, Tobe?
Tom Jordan, was he?
Yeah, Tom Jordan. It was more just the bottom ages and then Toby and Hibbo pretty much, I think.
I shouldered the load for the younger fellas.
Yeah, he taught us the way to go there and we cleaned up 2 in a row.
Pretty quiet night under 16s, was it? Grand final night?
Yeah, I think we were pretty quiet after that one, mate, which was good.
Hey, Toby, so just talk high schools. Did you went to Wesley?
Yeah.
But where did you go? Like, did you go to Glen Iris Primary?
No, I was Solway.
Solway boy. Oh,
Yep.
Okay, that's exciting. It was Benny Bailey and Joshy Bailey who knew you were on the FIFA. I wonder if they can put on the chat group how. Is that on the lockdown if they put that up there or something? How did you know I wonder how Benny and Joshy Bailey knew you had the FIFA final tonight.
Oh, it'd be Tommy Sheridan, and he puts everything that I do on social media. So
Does he? Gotcha.
Yeah, I presume it's through that.
Yep, Tommy Sheridan they've put on there. They've picked that on. That's funny. Very funny. Very funny. Toby Greene, Toby Tribe says, was that the one? The twos went after we won the flag cheers? I don't know, what was that? That's to Matty cheers. I can't read all that. Scotty, you might make sense of some of that. Tell me, Tobe, let's fast forward. What does the off season entail for you? Are you going to stay in Sydney? I wouldn't be recommending coming down here.
No, well, obviously family down in Melbourne's probably and friends is the only reason I'd come back at the moment. But I can't see myself doing 2 weeks quarantine if I have to go back to Sydney. So I'll probably just be there for most of it, I would think, and hopefully the borders open up so I can travel to and from a few times, but yeah, it's certainly different to most years I've had in the since I've been playing AFL. I've been overseas every year, so this will be the first time I've stayed put.
I just want to tell the kids, or all of them, you're extremely hard worker. You know, like in the off season, you love running, you love training. You know, tell us about like that and why. Is it your go-to that when you know you've done the work, you feel better?
Yeah, it's something I've always regarded really highly, and I've just seen the benefits from it. So yeah, it's something I've always liked, and I actually enjoy it. So it's not something I am deterred from. It's actually something I look forward to, and done a lot of training sessions with the boys on this chat that throughout my off seasons, and I thank them for that. But yeah, it's just something that you don't get results, and I'm probably not a player that's gifted with immense speed or fitness. I'm reasonable in both areas, but no, so it's something I need to work on, and I know I'll back my football ability when I'm fully fit. So that's probably why.
Just go back. You played for the Big V earlier this year in the Bush, the appeal game for the Bushfires. How did you enjoy it? I think you kicked 5. What did you think of Dimmer Hardwick, one of the great coaches? And tell me about the experience, and what do you think of a Big V? You know, like every 2 years or every 3 or 4 years. What would you think?
Oh, personally, I'd be for it every year. Like, it's just an amazing experience. I like, even if I did it for a charity every year, I think it'd be a great idea. And most boys would jump at the idea. I think the more serious you take it, the better as well. You know, you got 44 of the best players playing. It's an opportunity you don't ever get. And you get to mix with the best players, and it was an amazing experience, and there was a great crowd that night. And Dimmer was awesome. He gave me the license to do what I wanted in the forward line, so hopefully Leon can do that soon.
Tell me quickly, you played with Bont.
Yeah.
Did you how did you go? Like, did you sort of get to know him a tiny bit?
No, it was fine. It was fine. It was just, it is what it is. I think it was fine. He's a good man, and it's the first and only time I really met him. So no, it was good.
He was okay to you?
Yeah, he was fine. He was fine.
And did Dimmer have a little theme? Did he have any theme for the night? He likes his themes.
Yeah, he did actually. We had every player got a letter from a former Big V player, and just saying what it meant to them and what they thought of me. I had Tim Watson. So it was actually an amazing letter. I've still got it in my bedside drawer, and something I'll probably show my kids one day down the track, definitely.
Just on that, is that then? Did you keep a connection at all with Tim since? Am I thinking?
Yeah, I've messaged him a few times since that, and a few of the boys have sent me a few funny clips, I think, on radio that he's mentioned to me. So it's certainly someone if I bump into, I'll certainly have a big chat with, and obviously knows his footy and a good man.
Just a really good question from Tommy McDermott. Like, he's a skipper of our club next year, and we're bloody excited. Who are the best blokes? Like, I know you've got a really good rapport with Dusty anyway, but did someone surprise you? And fast forward, because I know you, and your mates probably think you'd gravitate to someone like Dusty, but it'd be interesting for me to tell the crew about you and your newfound relationship with Paddy Dangerfield, who would be more likely to be found playing Scrabble with his grandparents than probably drinking beers with Charlie Haley. But you bonded with Danger a bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
So let's go back. Who are the best blokes from the Big V, and then tell us about your relationship with Danger and how that came about.
Oh, no, it's hard to say who was the best. Everyone was a great bloke that I talked to, and we had a few beers together all after the game, and that was a great night. I got along with everyone. Steel Sidebottom, sat with him and Dusty at dinner. That was good. Pendles was a good man. Everyone was good bloke, as you'd expect. And then, I did a lot of stuff, training with Paddy down at, I was staying at Aireys Inlet over COVID, and he's obviously a Moggs Creek boy, and we were just going to Anglesey Oval, and I'd run into him every time and say, we might as well train together. So we ended up training together for a couple of weeks, and he looked after me when I bought my surfboard. So it was great, and I'll probably do the same thing in summer with him this year.
Hilarious. I think we've got Cumpy back on. Are you there, Cumpy?
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry about that. There's actually a power like that in Brandon, not in the country. So,
can you, Cumpy? Can you remember coaching Tobe? And were you coaching? Who was in the team then? Who's on the line? Was Hibbo captain of that team or?
just Charlie, PD, and I was coaching. There was Charlie, and there was I think Von Moga. About 10 years ago, so I can remember. Charlie might know more. I can't remember that much.
How are you, Cumpy?
Hey, so?
Where's PD? We still bump into him every now and then.
Oh, he's very good with technology, PD. He probably wouldn't be able to figure this out. So,
did you coach for a few years, Cumpy?
Sorry, what was that? Pardon?
Did you coach the boys for a couple of years? Did you coach?
Oh, I coached just the first year, and PD coached I think 3 years, but just the flag, and I signed up after winning a flag. So,
gosh, you just did one premiership and did a runner. Well done.
Yeah, Toby was got a quite a then, like his football, I think.
Good fielder, we hear.
Yeah, very.
That's about all. Well, thanks, Cumpy. Hey, Tobe, we're coming to the end a little. We're just going to wind it up in a second.
Yeah.
Have we had any serious, like, you've signed for so long, so really you've been dedicated to stay there. I think it's a credit to you, that your football keeps improving. But we haven't, and I think there was a question just on the side about any serious approaches. In the nicest possible way, there'll be 17 other clubs that give their left arm for you because the game's changing a bit, and you're that, you talk about the players we want to come and see, or we want to pay the big bucks, whether it's Dustin Martin, it's Paddy Dangerfield, it's Petrarca this year, but it's certainly your good self. Just a couple others. Who are some of the most influential people to you? Like who are some of your biggest influences at the Giants?
At the Giants,
you've mentioned De Boer in an off-field status.
Yeah, I guess early days, James McDonald and Luke Power. Jimmy Mack probably was like one of the most ruthless coaches I've ever had, but he's exactly what I needed. And I loved having him as a coach. Just everything he taught, and he's preached it very hard. But it's the best way to do it, especially with younger boys. Obviously Leon I've got a great relationship with, and someone I've been with for 8 years now, and really respect, and I love his views on the game. Even Choco Williams in my first year, he was one of the best development coaches I've ever had in terms of just working purely on your game. So I've had plenty along the way, that's for sure.
Hey, just quickly, your thoughts on the great Macca playing 500 games?
It's a big effort, isn't it? It's a lot of Saturdays.
It's a lot of Saturdays, isn't it?
He's a special man, and I know when the boys had that team with him in the Force a couple of years ago, it was something I really look forward to, and hopefully we can get something similar going. And it's Club Mac's one of the best things ever after a win.
Club Mac, I love it. Just one from I think it's the Philby. There's just some big swings in results from week to week from some clubs, including the Giants. Is this just due to frequency of games? What are you putting it down to? 1 week you're on, 1 week it's off. I'm putting it down to no Green, no Giants.
No. We've just sort of been inconsistent in a couple of areas of our game this year. So I can't speak for other teams, but we're certainly not at the level we want to get to, and I'm sure we can get there in the next few weeks. So it's something we're certainly aware of and working on.
Well, we're all going to watch the Giants this week against the Eagles. Just from my perspective, I reckon you've got just a great culture at the Giants, that's for sure. Which is fantastic, and it is a group you just love to win a premiership with these group of blokes. Imagine Steve Canelio, who you were drafted with, winning a premiership. Someone's texting you there. Who's texting you?
That's Wardy. I'm getting harassed here.
So you've got to go. So when's the semi-final? Tell us that.
As soon as I get off this. So I'm looking. No, it is a special bunch of blokes. Like, it's not. I got drafted with 40 18-year-olds, so there's still 10 here, and
It's pretty special.
yeah, it is special rapport we've got, and it's something I hold dearly. So
You've got
yeah,
talent, because the amount of talent that's left, but I think the Giants have done it as well as anyone. That's the way you've got to look at it, like an American NBA team or NFL team. You've just got to keep, you can't pay everyone. You've got a salary cap, so you've got to fit them in.
Yeah.
So.
No, we've done it well, and we've got a great bunch of boys, and we just got to we want to get back to where we got to last year and do some damage in the finals, and I'm sure we can.
Well, on behalf of everyone at Glen Iris, we hope you come back for a few special games with Macca and.
No, I'll be there. I'll be there.
But on behalf of everyone and the kids out there, it's just wonderful that you give up an hour of your time to speak to us, mate.
No dramas. Thanks for having me, and I'll see everyone around the club this year.
And the Baileys will tell us, put on report back on Glen Iris socials, the Baileys, if Toby wins the FIFA champs tonight.
Let us know. All right. Thank you.
See you, mate.
Yeah.
Well done.
Right.
You go. And Scotty, we've got about 5 minutes for the raffle. What do we do with the raffle, Scotty? What's the story? Virtual raffle. So
the links in the chat, Jake. Be great if everyone could buy a ticket or two to help us out. It's hard running a career club in COVID. We probably won't get into Eric Raven before Christmas, so we're going to be down a bit, but that's okay. We'll be fine. It'd be great if you could buy a ticket or two. And in the new age, we can actually run the raffle online. Is that right, Taz? Taz is in charge of this. You know what Taz is like, Jake. He's pretty good.
Taz is organised.
Yeah. Well, we've got it 4:05, so let's give it a couple more minutes. Let's see if we can't get over $500.
Just quickly,
that'd be great. Nice little goal, $500.
I think that's what a great idea tonight, but wasn't really courtesy of Wagstaff, but it was just Rel Smeets. Charlie, Haley, and all the crew. How good's Toby? And it was really good for the kids just to see, what a ripper bloke he is. We can unmute Charlie, Haley, or Tommy. Tommy, it was.
What's that, Paul? Sorry, mate.
I was just saying, it was good for the kids on here. Toby, Toby so well, but he trains really hard, and he's just extremely personable. And I know he's got some of his great mates on here as well, but gee, I thought it was really impressive from my point of view, just listening to him and hearing his story.
For sure, mate. Like what you see on the football field is completely different to the person he actually is. He's a very hardworking, family, friendship person, and he keeps all these close people very close to him. And it was very good to hear like his perspective and the young kids to actually see what he really is like. So, no, he spoke very well, and it was good. It's good to tune in.
And it was good that all of you guys jumped on too, because it just shows the respect you guys and the friendship, and I know how close you and Macca and everyone is too. So,
it was good. Cheers, guys.
Well done. Any other questions from anyone? Scotty, why don't you just summarise? And I think it was good to have everyone. Like, big shout out to Taz, who's done an amazing job with so much of this work. And, just from an outset, I've been around Glen Iris for 10 years now, but I don't think the club's ever been in better hands with Scotty and Paulie Lowry, the star, and Taz coming on, and, Coach Lucas and now Tommy. Drivey coming back on for a start, Tommy. We're in good hands, and I think you should be proud, Tommy, that you're coming into a club that's in a really good shape, and you bringing some of your crew back. I think we've missed competitive footy this year, and hopefully everyone's going to be pretty keen to play some competitive sport. So, are you looking forward to it? And you've got a bit of a good crew coming along as well.
Yeah, I think with no local footy, that's going to be a massive thing for people to get out, and hopefully we can come to the club and enjoy, just training. I think especially men's mental health is such a big thing at the moment, and be able to do that fitness and be able to play a sport competitively and enjoy a win. I think that's one of the biggest things that people are missing at the moment. So I think getting some of the players back's a big thing. The club wants to be where it wants to be. I think we can get there. They've been very close recently, and what Skelts has put in place is amazing. Like, the club's so well set up, and all the kids coming through are developing so much quicker than when I used to be down at TH King, where one of the balls usually hit a rock and bowl you out. Now you got the best facilities, best coaches, all that kind of stuff. So the club's in good hands. I just hope we can get out before Christmas. I'm still unsure what the rules and regulations are going to be then, but once we are out there and playing one-day cricket this year will be exciting. But I think it's going to be a great year by all the cricket club, and I think people can't wait to get out there. So very well done tonight, and I think everyone turning out, that was a great turnout. So I was a bit surprised. That was awesome. So well done to everyone that came in and tuned in.
Yeah, I think you touched on something really good. I think it's really important for men, whether they're 18 to 30 or however old, even me who's 50, like to have competitive games of sport. It doesn't matter if it's cricket, it's footy, it's tennis. I think it's really important. I think we've missed it, and I sense good things coming this way for Glen Iris.
Hey, Jake, can we on the AFL, we've got the great man here. Are there any questions to Jake re the industry, re what he thinks is going to happen between now and grand final? Talk to about Tom Lynch, would you, please? You got to kick 10. You got to kick 10 on Saturday night.
Tom Lynch. We're talking about Tom Lynch, Richmond.
Yeah, there's only one Tom Lynch.
I look, to be fair, just like Charlie Haley said before about Tom Lynch. If you're listing, your best blokes that I've ever managed, he's probably in my top 5. Just a ripper. And look, I thought it was a bit of hoo-ha about not a lot. I don't get me wrong. I love Sam Collins' reaction because we love competitors, and that's what Toby Greene is, that they didn't see. He's such a competitor, and we love competitors, and that's what Tom Lynch is. It wasn't, we must be really bored because it wasn't like Tom Lynch whacked the guy behind play. I did have a giggle at Dimmer having a whack at David Swartz. It was a bit on, and I think that was just a coach trying to take the heat away from his player. I think the grand final will be in Queensland. I think you'll find that a lot of the players won't come home. They'll just stay in Queensland. They've just been given the green light to do that. So if you're playing for North Melbourne, why would you just go up to Noosa? Why would you come back here? We're the ones stuck here. So I think it's the grand. How good's Geelong been? Amazing. Collingwood, Lanners. I think Collingwood's got a lot to think about. I think Darcy Moore will stay, but I think Collingwood's just had too many injuries and they're missing. Melbourne's been a laughing stock for 10 years, but they just seem to be getting their stuff together. Tracker's been the most improved player in the AFL. I think Port Adelaide's been a great story, and all in all. How good's the 20 days and the footy's been for us? Like, they're all living their life. Like, when you speak to people they don't understand what we're going through. So, I think I want Geelong to win. I think Giants, not that I'm going to tell Toby, I think they're cooked. And I think West Coast will probably put them to the sword tomorrow night unless Toby kicks 5. That's how important Toby is. And I think Toby could be in the best 5 players in the AFL, and he would have been. Talked about like Petrarca as well as one of the most improved, and he's already a gun, players in the AFL. He's important to the Giants. Anyway, I reckon we do the raffle.
Let's do the raffle. You've got to get home for 8, otherwise you get fined.
Exactly. Oh, let's do the raffle, Taz. I don't know how to do it.
All right. I'm guessing as well. So this is a new thing that we've done. So here we go. We're going to share the screen. Jake's raffle.
It started screen
Sharing.
sharing.
All we press is view results. Well, that didn't work because we were supposed to. Have you got it on screen share?
I've got it. Raffle is closed. It's all view results. I nearly had that. You could view results. Winner. The prize are listed below.
Oh, well, this has worked well.
Yeah.
Hang on. Bear with me a second.
Well, this is a first, so it's still pretty good that we're even doing it.
We can't actually test it. That's the problem. We couldn't test it.
No, that's okay.
It's closed.
Don't worry, Taz. We've got nowhere to go.
That's right. We can't leave the room.
Quick question for Jake. Do you think the AFL will look at spreading games across the week in the upcoming seasons in the future?
I think they've got to really look at it, don't they?
How do your players feel about it?
I think I think the players have been amazing. Not only have they given back over $100 million this year, that they've just had a real sense of let's do what we can to get the games going.
They'd rather play than train, wouldn't they?
Yeah, not normal, not in a normal season, but I think we can accommodate Mondays and Thursdays. I think there might be a lot more Thursdays or more Mondays, but I think the media people will be having a bit to say about that as well. Probably have a night grand final or a twilight grand final this year. I think anything's on the table. But we're going to have a grand final where it's going to be at the Gabba with 30,000 people, so it's going to be interesting.
Nick Nat
Scotty,
large. What's Taz doing? We ready, Taz?
No.
We trust
Spread
you.
it around. We'll let the winner know. Let the winner know.
I've got the I fill it, everyone.
Trust us.
So
Trust us.
you'll be collecting it off me over the weekend if we have to, or I can drop it to someone.
If you live within 5Ks, of course. We're very.
Yeah, exactly.
We like the rules.
Okay, team.
Okay.
Thanks, Scotty.
Thank you, Jake. Thanks very much. Thanks for organising that. It was an excellent night. Well done, team Glen Iris.
Well done, guys.
Beautiful.
Thank you all.
Ciao.
Go, J.I.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, lads.
That went well.
Yeah, it was good. Really good.
Mate, I'm trying to unmute you. I can't unmute you.
Can you hear me, Scotty?
Yeah, I can, Trolley. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good, wasn't it? Go, Max.
Really well.
G'day, how you going? Very
Good.
good.
How are you?
Toby was terrific too. Good to see blokes like Charlie Haley and Ivo and all those guys from the old days come in as well. It was really, really good actually.
We had 52 people register. We had 52 people on board. It's pretty good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah,
really
good. Yeah.
Toby spoke really well, and Connors runs those things really well. So
he's as good online as he is in the bloody in the Eric Raven pavilion, isn't he?
He's like Jerry Maguire, mate. Just put him in a room and let him go.
No, he's brilliant. Do you know what? He takes it serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rang me about 100 times. I think he only rang me 100 times today, but yeah. He's lost 7 kilos.
Jake has.
Yeah. He was walking around. He was walking around Caulfield Racetrack when he rang me this afternoon.
I reckon I'm doing 8Ks a day and I'm putting weight on.
Yeah, I'm walking a lot too, but as I said to you the other day, it's snakes and ladders. You do good things during the day, and then a few beers outweigh your work during the day. So you go down and you go up, and you go down, and it just creeps up over time. Yeah.
And the worst part about it is I'm fucking hurting like a bitch, like everything's hurting from running these, or half running, half walking these 8 clicks a day, and then I'm not getting anywhere.
You do feel better after an 8K. I'll tell you what, when the alarm goes off at 5:45 on a Saturday morning, and I drive down the road and meet my running mate, it's the last thing I feel like doing, but I feel better afterwards.
Mate. No, yeah, I feel, but yeah, it's the same thing. I've sort of got this little system down to get up, do all the emails from overnight, and then take the dog out between 10 and 11, and back here just before lunch, and away you go.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to go, mate. Good night, mate. We've been lucky with the weather, haven't we? We haven't had those winter, rainy, windy, sleety, haily days. No, the weekend's going to be shit. No, we've been pretty lucky, haven't we?
The weather was crook early, and then it's been good for the last probably month. It's been really good, actually. I was actually sort of hoping, with being in lockdown, we'll sort of head into some sort of early sort of spring where you can have some 20, 21, 22 degree days. Get some sun on me, mate. I'll have to shave the beard off and get the all over glow.
To get the beach towel out the back there at East Melbourne.
So I was saying to Glen, this would be so much easier if this is summer. You just crack beer, sit outside. Easy.
Or do you reckon people will be shitty that they can't go that they can't do anything, they can't go to the beach, or they can't do things? It was easy.
At least you could be out.
Yeah. When you think about March, we went into lockdown in, what was it, April? It was nice in April, wasn't it? I remember being outside a lot in April.
Yeah, it was lovely.
I was working outside on the deck, I remember now. So, anyway, that's coming.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be out of it by then. Numbers are really improving, so it's good.
Well, there's a lot of illusion tonight towards not starting before Christmas. You don't reckon that's going to happen?
No, I think we'll start before Christmas. We've got to get to stage 2. That's the thing. Hang on, Jake's just calling me. I'll put him on speaker. Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm just talking to Tribe online. Yeah, unreal. Brilliant. Yeah, you reckon it was brilliant? Yeah. Yeah, he's impressive. He's an impressive young man, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought it was better. I thought, just for him to talk, but, if you boys want to have fun, go on, party up or something. But, you can call him and have fun. But I've got no issue with having kids and just getting into that little... I don't think people are really interested in the party stuff, to be honest with you. They're interested in the person. They're interested in his career.
He's an AFL footballer. People want to hear from him. He's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Resilience Tribunal, Bonda-Pelly, all that,
That's brilliant. We had 53 people in that.
Hey, Suze, I'm going to go. We've got to move in out here.
We're trying to help people in this time stay connected and,
Yeah. I got a few texts throughout saying, well done to the club. This is brilliant. That sort of stuff. So that's good to hear. Yeah.
I think that's important. That's why I tried to lead it that way at the end with even hearing from colleagues, just like, hey, the club's in good shape. We've got some good people. People don't get enough shout outs. I don't care if it's Tags or Paul Lowry or you or, I know sometimes we don't get enough acknowledgement, and therefore it's good for whether it's Charlie Haley's on the line and hearing, hey, we're a small little suburban cricket club that's got Toby Greene on the line, doing a Zoom with 50 people, and you've got Josh Bailey and Benny Bailey listening with their dad, it's in there, Rich Sibley, and
it was actually you're probably busy asking the questions, but when you look through the Zoom cameras, there was lots of families sitting around laptops. Like there was more than one person. One person was logged in, but it was 3 or 4 people behind the laptops.
Yeah, which is good, isn't it?
Yeah, there was families actually.
Yeah.
As soon as I got to go.
Yeah, Toby's going. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It was brilliant.